Finlinson, Welby Finlinson, Ken Gardner, Earl Greathouse, Barton Lyman, and Donna Finlinson Sorensen families, and we miss them. I was asked to pay tribute to my grandmother, Mary Caroline Roper Finlinson. It is my honor and privilege to represent our family. At the same time, it is my pleasure to talk about Grandma because I loved her and she loved me. Now, many of you have been touched also by her love. Even though I could dwell on her role as a wife, mother, sister, grandmother, and her friend, suffice it to say that her successes in each of these areas are legend. Because she was so inherently good, she was master in every situation. Above all, she was an intrepid woman. Few women could match her skills in coping with stresses and conflict. Her greatness and strength came from wisdom, calmness, and a gentle spirit. You know, I especially admired her adroitness in handling Grandpa. He could be over-enthusiastic at times. She tolerated his repetitive stories and his spontaneous bursting into song. That greedy squaw must have been hit 10,000 times with an apple. And each time the enactment was vivid, complete, with yelling and rolling on the floor or on the ground. And when the climax was too loud or dramatic, she merely said, "Now, George," and he would giggle a little bit and then calm down. The lawns, flower gardens were nurtured by Grandma, and our beds in the summertime were strategically placed close to the gooseberry bushes and under the majestic locust trees. And at daybreak each morning, we were awakened by Grandma's hustle and hoeing. And simultaneously, we were pricked by Grandfather's kisses. And they were prickly kisses because he hadn't shaved. He would then assign our task for the day, and though a taskmaster, he would temper the mandate with an alternative. Now, if you don't want to tromp hay today, you can stay and help the girls snap beans or peel peaches. I always wondered what would have happened if I had chosen the option. It would have been easier and more affectionate to have been with the girls. Besides, the lunches would have been more sanitary. His pocket knife, no sawdust in the milk from the ice house, or flavor of sand, or steer manure blown in from the corral. I should have been with the girls. It was amazing how Grandmother could keep her calm in the face of myriads of problems and so many bodies. Grandfather, 9 children, 5 to 10 grandchildren underfoot, nieces, nephews, and thousands of watermelon seeds. And each one received preferential treatment, even the seats. The evening meal seemed like a war dinner. The younger kids had to stand so they would grow taller. Breakfast reminded me of a chow line on an aircraft carrier. Her warehouse was full of food, and everything came in bushels, 100-pound bags, 1/2-ton or 2-ton denominations. Mary's Bakery was open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. 40 pies and 30 loaves of bread would disappear between noon and eventide. And the oven was constantly fed by cedar wood. Her problems were compounded by the rise and fall of the water pressure in the tap, especially on Saturday evening when the original hot tub was shelling out 16 bodies between dinner and the dance. You know, I miss grandmother, and you do too. My only counsel to you is to follow her example and join with her in the celestial kingdom.
I asked her if she'd She said she had a lover and he was far at sea. She said she had a lover and true she would remain till he returned to claim his bride by the lakes of Ponce Twain. Farewell to thee, dear maiden, I ne'er shall see thee more, but I'll ne'er forget your kindness, nor the cottage by the shore, and at some social gatherings the flowing bowl I'll drain. I'll drink to the health of the Creole girl by the lakes of Ponce Twain. Now here's a little song Dad used to sing. I don't know whether any of you have heard that much or not. Brian Olin has no pants for to wear, so he bought him a sheepskin and made him a pair with the woolly side out and the skinny side in. It's pretty sharp shooting, said Brian Olin. Oh, Brian Olin has no pants for to wear, so he bought him a sheepskin and made him a pair with the woolly side out and the skinny side in. It's pretty sharp shooting, said Brian Olin.
Like me to take a few minutes and talk about Grandfather Finlinson and Grandmother Susan Trimble Finlinson. So anyway, I'm not here to talk about memories of last reunion, but I can say, I'm prepared to say a little bit about grandfather George Finlinson and his wife Susan. But I'm under a limit to call alive. And well, it's just nobody
his English was kind of poorly, and my stenographer took some liberties and with the English and put it in shape so you can understand it. And you'll find that in that book that Angie published. She also put a copy of the will in the book. Now, if you'll read the letter, and I don't know whether I can read it, Angie, or not. She was a little child, a little daughter, Mary Elizabeth, and George came to Utah, subsequently married Susan Trimble, and this is the result of Susan Trimble and his union with the Trimble. It's interesting to note in this relationship that the secrecy with which this matter was kept under wraps, or the ability with which it was kept under wraps, I guess I was the first descendant of George Finlinson, who went back to England after he had left England. I was called on a mission in 1926, and I labored in the Sheffield area and in the Newcastle area. George Finlinson came from a little town called Thursday in northern England. The Trimbles came from the same area. Most of them lived in a little town called Kirthway, about 5 miles outside of Carlisle. Lucy became pretty well acquainted with it when she and Evan were there. But anyway, when I received my call, I went over to Fillmore, and he had a sister who I think was the youngest sister, and she was married to a man by the name of Hardy. He was a merchant in Carlisle, quite prosperous, and he had a daughter and a son. The daughter and the son were still alive when I was there. I went out to the daughter's home outside of Carlisle, and it's on the banks of the Eden River. And Angie tells you about the Eden River in her book. But they treated me with great respect. Of course, they weren't interested in the church either. But this daughter had married a solicitor, and his name was Thomas Strong. Really quite an accomplished man, and they had a son about my age who had just graduated from Oxford. And he spent one day driving me and my companions through what we call the Lake District in northern England. Had a great time, and I've kept in touch with him during the years. He's in a solicitor's firm that has been in this office where they're now officing in Carlisle. The office of the lawyers, the solicitor's firm, has been in that office for over 200 years. Walk there and look at some of the furniture, you think it was 200 years old. But they're good solicitors, and I've used them a time or two to help me handle some problems. I had an estate years ago where the money was to be divided. The estate was to be divided per capita to all of the heirs. We found practically all of the heirs, divided up the money, and then when we got ready to send the checks out, this one check would never get delivered. She had been a nurse living down in Surrey, and the check would always come back. We never could get anybody to deliver that silly letter. So I sent the letter over to the solicitor Strong, the son was handling it, he and his son. And I said, would you please see if you can find that gal and deliver this check to her? was feel so lonely, but it is no more than what I expected. You say you're neither wife nor widow. You're just anything you have a mind to call yourself. I told you long time ago. Now this is George Finlinson speaking. I told you a long time ago, if you want your freedom, you have it from me. If you wanted to be my wife, you have that privilege to be so. And what more could any person desire? There is no binding people. Every man and woman is at liberty to do as they wish. I calculate to keep my freedom as long as I live. I calculate that no one shall take that freedom as long as I'm a man. I am at liberty to leave Mormonism at any time that I have a mind to, regardless of what people are saying all around me. But then when a man knows a road, who can persuade him it is wrong? Can any person persuade you to go around by Crofton Toll Bar to Thursby that it was the direct and nearest road? Now, I might illustrate that there are several little towns, but this would be about what would happen if you had Linville, Leamington, and Oak City, and you were at Oak City, and somebody told you that the closest road was to go to Linville and then up to Leamington. That would be about what he's saying. And this Crofton Toll Bar is what remains of an old toll road. There wasn't a lot of them in England in the early days, years ago. But he's saying to her, when you know the road, and the closest way to get on the closest portion of the road, there's no use trying to tell him otherwise, because he knows. And I think George is saying that to his wife, I know Mormonism's true, and don't try to tell me otherwise.
Rebecca, who is Joshua's daughter, one of them delegated us to do this. Of course, delegated to all 5 brothers, but here we are. I delegated my wife to help me. So. We're going to preach the gospel to all who want to hear. A message of salvation unto the meek we bear. Jehovah has commanded us, and therefore we must go. For none can preach the gospel like the Mormons do, like the Mormons do. Faith in God and Jesus, the first thing that we preach. A genuine repentance, the next thing that we teach. Baptism by immersion, as we can plainly show. That none can preach the gospel like the Mormons do, like the Mormons do. To obtain the Spirit, the next thing that we teach. Days of night are the same as in our day. It's by the laying on of hands we proclaim the show. That none can preach the gospel like the Mormons do, like the Mormons do. The old-time religion is what we want to know. The prophets and apostles that said days long ago. Read Ephesians 2nd chapter, Ephesians 4:2. For none can preach the gospel like the Mormons do, like the Mormons do.
I heard this reading. It was by my mother, and I tried to learn it when she gave it. And when I've been asked to give it, I decided I didn't know it quite well enough. John Hardhack was a close-fisted tiller of the soil. He became quite well-to-do through hard and constant toil. The only tender spot about him was his buckskin purse. To hit him there would make him squirm. You couldn't hurt him worse. A ragged suit of army clothes had served him many years. In vain his wife had begged him to dress decently with tears. So one day when he went to town, he took a notion to invest $12 in a brand new suit all through. Well, do it up then, and be quick about it too, he said. I've got 19 cows to milk before I go to bed. So he jumped upon the wagon, threw the bundle on the seat, and sent the old mare homeward at a gait that was hard to beat. The shades of night were falling fast, as out of town there passed a man who softly muttered, I'll surprise Eliza Jane at last. So when he reached the river that ran close beside the house, he stopped his horse and listened. All was quiet as a mouse. I guess I better shut myself right here and now, he said. It's a darn queer proceeding, but I'll surprise her anyhow. So one by one, his garments old, he pulled off with a grin. And as the river ran so close, he calmly tossed them in. But as he gave that last old rag a sort of a farewell flirt, he stood up clothed in rectitude in a short cotton shirt. Now, presto change, he gaily cried, as he reached for his new clothes. They were not there. He was surprised, as you can well suppose. He searched the wagon o'er and climbed beneath the seat. It was in vain. His language I would rather not repeat. The night wind seemed to snicker as it dallied with his brief and simple costume, while he stood and shivered like a leaf. But at last he firmly muttered, as he took the homeward track, I'll surprise Eliza yet, or my name ain't John Hardhack. His dog came at him in the yard and made him climb a tree. And when his good wife cried, Who's there? He howled, Gall darn, it's me. But not until the hired man had dressed and got a gun would she admit him, and then she was half inclined to run. But the next morning when John Hardhack arose and went out of doors in his hired man's old clothes, he spied the missing bundle hanging safe as on a shelf upon the brake rod where it had caught. He was surprised himself.
girls with the Finlinson family, and Uncle John Nielsen is her husband. She died when I was 10, so my dad had to be part of the family and say his old Hog in the Woods poem every time they wanted to do it. So they asked me to try to do this. Now, I think I'll need Bernice to hold this because I'm not going to got my hands full of stuff here I might need to use. No problem. Yeah, it's okay. I can't get it straight. I gotta tell you, this is about a war story too. This is a war story too, and I guess it's the Civil War. I don't know if it's the same war that we sang about where the guy got killed, but this guy came straight from Ireland, and he was new over here, joined the army, and he didn't get killed, I guess. I don't know whether they killed him or not right in the end, maybe they did. This is the Hog in the Woods. When the war broke out, Pat was first to enlist. He'd fight with shillelagh or fight with his fist. Now Patrick was fresh from the old sod, and he'd carry a gun as he'd carry a hod. He'd soon learn to shoot it, he said, without doubt. If they put in the load while he watched it come out. But when he had shot it, he said he would rather be pricked with one end than kicked with the other. His rations for whiskey he'd drink with one swig, and he'd never mark time, but he'd end with a jig. They went to the front. Pat thought it was hard the very first night to be placed upon guard. But he paced back and forth out in the night air, rehearsing his halt. Who goes there? I'm to shoot at the rebels and aim at the heart. But how is a stranger to tell them apart? I'm to know Mr. Rebels, the officers say, by the clothes he has on, supposed to be gray. Is a gentleman judged by the cut of his clothes, as a toper is told by the tip of his nose? But how can I tell if he comes in the dark? Must I judge of the tree by feeling the bark? I'll be sure of his wardrobe, be that ere I shoot. To be the right man, he must wear the wrong suit. Then, I think I'll surround him. The first thing I'll say, I'll ask him this question. Your coat, is it gray? I'll swear by the whiskey that's in the canteen, I'll not trouble him if he's wearing the green. It's late in the night. All the camp is asleep. When Pat hears a noise that makes his flesh creep, something crawls through the brush. Pat hollers out, "Halt! Who goes there? If you're deep, it's your fault." All he hears is a rough that sounds like a grunt. He's a rough sure, for his language is blunt. "March here and surrender me, Rep, or you die. Come out with your business, I'll bet you're a spy." You weep. Holy murder, what language is that? "'Tis some foreign tongue. I'll be blowed, muttered Pat. "An officer, sure. But betwixt you and me, is the whole army with you?" You weep. "Sure, and that's oui. Sure, and that's French for yes. I'll capture an army." "Oh, Daisy, I guess I'd better have help, so I'll call up the crowd." "The rebels are on us," cried out aloud. "The rebels are on us." Out rushed the whole corps, surrounding the woods, which they quickly searched o'er. They swept through the brush on a double-quick jog, but all they could find was a dirty white hog. They cursed till they laughed, and they laughed till they cried. For rousing the army next day, Pat was tried. "Court-martial," says Pat, "sure my offense is not big. Why not try the army for rousing the pigs? But since I'm no lawyer, to fix up the case with fiction, I'll give the truth in its place. He came in the night with the lie in his mouth, just like a Confederate straight from the South. I asked him this question, 'cause I couldn't see. 'Are you, sir, a spy?' And he answered, 'Oui. As I'm a soldier and ne'er dance a jig, but
right here by me, and Aunt Julia, and Uncle Dick. And aunts, and also their spouses over the years. It's been a great blessing in my life, and also in the lives of the, I believe it's 49 grandchildren that Grandma and Grandpa Finlinson had. I'm not sure how many of them are here today. One other thing I wanted to say, do any of you know any Finlinsons who are not descendants of George and Susan Finlinson? Can I see a hand? Okay. And Angie knows some. I just wanted to mention one that I bumped into a few years ago. Do any of you live in Spring? And okay, I like the place so much I hate to leave. I'd like to have Uncle Lyman read the words to you if you just wouldn't mind just taking a minute so you can hear the words, and then we'll sing the song. He thinks you can hear them all right, so if you can't hear him, catch us after.
Colored guest met a yellow girl at a ragtime jamboree. She thought so much of the colored guys, she said, "You can call on me." He called on her the very next night. This gal was certainly swell. He thought he had her good and pat when his love began to tell. This gal looked up his pedigree, and it wasn't very bright. He was a gambling man and a chicken thief, and he stayed out late at night. He called on her the very next night. She gave him the marble heart, and these are the words he told to her when she told him to depart. "I like the place so much I hate to leave. When I
part in Sunday school with the song, and they'd sing this song in Sunday school. That was before they had the child of God.
Hey, wait a minute. We did practice, and I don't know if it was the first practice or the last time, but when we got to it, there was a point in here that said something about the B.O. Brakeman. And I looked over at me and said, you better explain that. That's what that B.O.
Well, I checked with Walker Finlinson. He says it's the Baltimore, Ohio Railroad.
Yeah.
On one summer day, sun was shining fine. The lady of old Bill Bailey was hanging clothes on the line in her backyard and weeping hard. She married an old brakeman, so that the kids rode her down. Belling like a prune-fed calf with big gang hanging round them to that crowd. She yelled out loud, won't you come home, Bill Bailey? Won't you come home? She moans the whole day long. I'll do the cooking for me, I'll pay the rent. I know I've done you wrong. Remember that rainy eve that I drove you out with nothing but a blind tombstone. I know I'm to blame. Well, ain't that a shame? Bill Bailey, won't you please come home? Won't you come home, Bill Bailey? Won't you come home? I know you're all day long. I'll do the cooking, darling. I'll pay the rent. I know I've done you wrong. Remember that rainy eve that I drove you out with nothing but a blind telephone. I know I'm to blame. Well, ain't that a shame? Bill Bailey, won't you please come home?
Some of them are dead. She said you were dead. Some of them are dead. This is called Betty and the Bear from our in a pioneer's cabin out west, so they say, a great big black grizzly bear trotted one day. And he seated himself on the porch and began to lap up the contents of a 2-gallon pan of milk and potato. An excellent meal, and then looked about to see what he could steal. Now the lord of the mansion awoke from his sleep, and hearing a racket, he ventured to peek just out in the kitchen to see what was there, and was scared to behold the great grizzly bear. He screamed in alarm to his slumbering foe, "There's a bar in the kitchen as big as a cow!"
ever seen a dirty t-shirt in your life? Never. No, never. But now we have new world cheer.
Did you ever see a cleaner t-shirt in your life? I mean, have you ever seen a cleaner t-shirt in your life? Of course you haven't yet. Can't even see it. Question number 2.
Here we have dirty garment couple. You ever see a dirty couple in your life? I mean, did you ever see a more dirty, filthy couple in your life? No, sir. But now we have no more cheer.
Did you ever see a cleaner that come along in your life? Did you ever see a cleaner pair come along in your life? You better not send you to the nigger's battle. It smells so nice. It smells nice. The t-shirt smells nice too. Oh yeah. Here we have
Dirty grimy. Baby's baffled. Did you ever see a baby's baffled in your life? Green! Green!
But now we have new blue chair. Did you ever see a cleaner baby doll in your life? A miracle you have never seen before. I mean, have you ever seen a cleaner baby doll in your life?
I was chasing kids. My dad told us that this would have very little significance to the younger generation, but more to the older, because they were around when cars were first out, and he says that the gasoline, I don't know whether it wasn't refined enough or something, but it left a peculiar odor after it had been burned. And so for those of you who remember that smell, this will have more significance. Two lonesome skunks by the roadside sat, and an automobile whizzed by, and left a smell that was not good. A tear stood in one's eye. "Why do you quail?" said he. "Why do you shiver and shake?" "Because," said he, "that smell is like my mother used to make."
I've been asked to sing The Hen and the Rooster. Oh, a hen and a rooster lived away out west. Said the hen to the rooster, "Honey, I love you best." The rooster said, "Now, hen, I think you lie, because I saw you in the alley with another rooster." And it's all. Now listen, honey, I don't know. Now, sweetie, don't you lie to me, 'cause I'm not as dumb as I used to be.
officer by the name of Peck fell on the Wellenbrook got their neck to serve him right, but he was in the wrong. He should have sent a stick to let the well alone. It was so, oh, honey, I don't know. Now, sweetie, don't you lie to me, 'cause I'm not as dumb as I used to be. I bought a combination to the underwear to keep out the cold and the wintry air. I run 6 months without exaggeration. When I went to take them off, I forgot the combination. And it's so, now listen, honey, I don't know. Now, sweetie, don't you lie to me, 'cause I'm not as dumb as I used to be. I went to the dance just the other night. Got out up on the floor, I had an awful fright. I felt a big rip and I knew at a glance I was losing my desire to dance. Now listen, honey, I don't know. Now, sweetie, don't you lie to me, 'cause I'm not as dumb as I used to be. We put some Easter eggs under our old hen because it was Easter morning then. When the rooster came and saw the green and red egg, he hopped the fence and killed the neighbor's peacock dead. Oh, honey, I don't know. Now, sweetie, don't you lie to me, 'cause I'm not as dumb as I used to be. Well, I'll sing the laughing song for the conclusion. I need more laughs to play this. When I was a baby, it just killed me so. I never got over it quite. And now I am grown up wherever I go. I'm laughing from morning till night. My nurse, she did tickle me when I was asleep. My mammy would tickle my chin. My daddy would tickle my poor little feet. And then I would always begin. Now why do you do that? Say ha ha ha. Why don't you quit that go away? Ha ha ha. Now why do you do that? Say ha ha ha. I want all the tickle this time. Hee ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Hee ha 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 ha. Hee ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. I want all the tickle this time. Well, they bought me some books and they sent me to school. And there I was tickled to death. My teacher would tickle me with a big ruler until I was all out of breath. Now Johnny would tickle me behind the ear. Sally would tickle my chin. And Joey would tickle me right in the ribs. And then I would always begin. Now why do you do that? Say ha ha ha. Why don't you quit that go away? Ha ha ha. Why do you do that? Say ha ha ha. I want all the tickle this time. Hee ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Hee ha 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 ha. Hee ha 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 ha.
From the children 12 and under, because our games from the 12 and over didn't arrive. And so if you can figure out something to do, we'll appreciate it. But now you're excused till the birthday cake, and don't
Fish are you?
Jellyfish.
I thought you were an eel.
Eel.
This is Eddie the eel, Scott the shark, Tommy
Thank
the
you.
torpedo, and Brett the bullfrog.